Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today. I'd like to thank you first on behalf of the HSO team for joining us for this webinar focused on cities and municipalities. My name is Pierre Bertrand. I'm an account executive at HSO, and I'll be joined by Pranav Sampath and by Samuel Boulanger. First, a couple of words on HSO. So we're a business transformation partner, and our goal, our DNA, is to really drive to improve your business performance. That's what we're here for. And to do that, we focus on the Microsoft technologies, the Microsoft stack. HSO Canada, 150 people located in Canada, all the way from Halifax to the West Coast, with a concentration also in Ontario. Worldwide, we have about 1,700 folks throughout Europe, throughout the US, etc. But our Canadian team is focused on Canadian projects. To be able to provide these results for your companies and for your organizations, we had to focus on industries. So right now, our focus is on retail, manufacturing, financial services, public sector, which is the focus on today, and professional services. So we know your business. We've worked with local government and municipalities before. Here's a sample of some of the organizations we work with. So what we're going to be showing to you today, the processes and the potential improvements and the technologies we'll outline are based on our experience with organizations like yours. Now, let's not waste any time. I'm going to pass it over to Pranav and to Samuel. Please, as we go through the presentation today, make sure that you enter your questions in the chats, and we'll be talking about how we're going to give you the answers later on at the end of the demo. Thank you very much. Samuel, Pranav, all yours. Take it away.
Thank you, Pierre. So it's a pleasure to be with you today. My name is Samuel Boulanger. I'm a technical specialist here at Microsoft, specialized in business application and specifically on all related to service, customer service, and field service. So it'll be my pleasure today to present you how Dynamics 365 customer service can bring value to your cities with Pranav.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sam. Hi, everyone. My name is Pranav, and I'm an enterprise architect at HSO. My role is to understand business outcomes and if, where, and how technology can help enable them. Sam and I will be walking you through a citizen, agent, and supervisor journey today.
Great. Thanks, Pranav. So let me share my screen and go to the demo.
All right. So let's start with our personas. So we have Kathy, who is playing the role of a citizen. We're also going to look at an agent experience, and we have Jack, who is a contact center agent who lives in the city, works for the city, and so he'll be helping Kathy resolve her issues. And then we have Jane, who is actually Jack's supervisor, who manages the team at the city. So with that, let's jump right into it. And we'll begin by looking at the citizen's experience. And so Kathy, she's a busy mom. It's winter, the days are short. As she's dropping her children off to daycare in the morning, she's been noticing for a couple of days now that the street light isn't working. It hasn't been fixed. And so she decides to inform the city in case they aren't already aware, as well as get a status update as to when it'll be fixed. While she's at it, there's also a pothole near her house that's actually gotten a little bit worse due to the winter. So she wants to report that and check in on that as well. So what we'll see is Kathy engage with the city first through a bot or a virtual agent. And then based on her needs, she will be transferred to Jack, the contact center agent, for a live chat interaction. Over to you, Sam.
Thank you, Pranav. So I'll start with the demo where I'll play the role of Katie. So Katie first log in to the 311 service portal by leveraging the single sign-on functionality of Azure Active Directory. Once logged in, different options are available to her from the top menu. She first can access the knowledge base where she can search for any article related to the different service provided by the city. For instance, if she wants to know how to get vaccinated for COVID-19, she can open the COVID-19 category and then access all the information she needs without having to call the 311. She can also access a list of the city work order with their status. So she can validate that the city is not already working on the issue before contacting them. And finally, from the support tab, she can easily track the progress of her cases, add details, or open a new one. Now, Katie wants to report a light outage and decides to leverage the chat functions of the portal. By clicking on the Let's Chat icon, she's greeted by the virtual assistant asking for her name. You can notice that the virtual agent is now able to interact with Katie using her name. Katie then tells the assistant she wants to report a light outage. The assistant can then search inside his knowledge base and provide Katie with relevant information. By clicking on the link, she's now able to access to the information she was looking for. No need to create a new case. She then answers yes to confirm it answers our question. Katie also wants to report a bottle. Using the browser location of Katie, the assistant can determine in which area she is. Based on that information, the assistant can look into Dynamics 365 and identify that there are already existing work orders for pothole in the area. She then informs Katie and asks her if she wants to share more details, which is the case. So Katie asks to chat with an agent. So the assistant automatically creates a case and leverage the unified routing functionality of Dynamics 365 to automatically connect her with the right person. Now let's switch persona and look at how Jack will be able to assist Katie. So back to you, Pranav.
Great, thank you, Sam. So we just saw how Kathy, the citizen, can engage with her city. We looked at how you enable 24/7 self-service through an online knowledge base and channels like bots, as well as increasing citizen satisfaction by transferring them to city employees as needed. We saw how intelligent workflow can be used to create and route cases to the right people at the right time. Now, let's move on to Jack and review the empowered agent experience. And so Jack himself is a city resident. He's very passionate about helping his fellow city residents with their needs. We will see in this part of the webinar how Jack gets notified of the request on his agent console, and he begins the chat with all the relevant context. We'll get to see how workflow capabilities in the system can be used, as well as how a 360-degree view of the case, of the interaction, not only make his life much more easier, but also much more productive as well. And we'll see how the solution has a virtual agent and a virtual assistant, rather. We got to see how the virtual agent helps the residents, but we'll also get to see how an assistant can help Jack, the agent, internally do his job most effectively by providing real-time guidance and suggestions based on the conversation that he's having.
Thank you, Pranav. Now let's look at how Jack will be able to assist Katie. So from the Omni-channel for customer service main page, Jack can easily identify work items available to work on. He can also see his current work items on which he's currently working on, its performances regarding his cases, and also the hot topics right now based on recent cases, and finally all of his activities in the timeline there. When he's ready to receive an incoming chat, he can change the status there to available. And then he see a pop-up notifying him of the incoming chat request from Katie. You can either accept or reject. If you reject the chat request, it will be sent to the next available agent. In that case, obviously, it will accept it. The new open tab shows different information regarding the customer in the case. You can console the conversation between Katie and the bot to get more context before interacting with her from the conversation panel. Notice at the top there, the sentiment analysis, which will evolve as the conversation goes on using text recognition and AI. Now let's just collapse the chat. And from the right side panel, Jack can leverage what we call Smart Assist, which is a feature that will use AI to propose the most relevant knowledge-based articles and similar cases based on the information gathered during the conversation. So basically, it looks for keyword inside of the conversation to propose the most relevant information that will help Jack solve this issue faster. Using the agent script, then by clicking here, he can follow a predefined script that will guide him through the different steps he needs to follow to resolve this case. In that case, the first step is to identify who is the resident. So Jack will open the resident tab. And from this tab, he has a 360 view of KT profile. You can see informations regarding the different service for which she inquired in this tab here. You can also see the different applications she applied for, such as, for instance, permit request. You can also see all cases open at the request of Katie, or any appointment scheduled with the city, such as this one, to discuss an issue with accessing the portal. Finally, you can see which city benefits Katie is leveraging right now and for which one she's eligible. Now that Jack has finished identified the resident, he can mark this first step as completed and move to the next one, which is to ask for the location of the issue. And to do so, he will navigate to the case tab here. And from there, you have a complete view of all the different cases opened by Katie, but also cases open in the same location. So if we take this case that's just been created by the bot and we click on the location icon, I can see where is located this specific case. But if I click on show nearby case, I'm now able to see similar cases on the map, and I can identify that city is already aware of the issue in that specific location. So based on that information, Jack will be able to notify Katie that the city is already aware of the issue. So we'll just notify her. And he asked her if she wants to provide any additional information. If that's the case, actually. Katie is telling Jack that there's been additional road damage in the last 15 minutes. So we'll just complete the ask for location step, and we'll move to the next one, which is asking for evidence. So Jack will ask for evidence. And Katie will be able to provide the a picture directly from the chat windows. There we go. And Jack can then download the evidence and attach it to the case by leveraging Power Automate. So I'll just click on Ask for Evidence and complete that step. And it will automatically trigger a Power Automate that will let me attach this picture to this specific case. It could have been done automatically, but to demonstrate the process, we'll just attach it manually using Power Automate. So let's go into download and pothole image and then run flow, and it will automatically be attached to the case. You can then move to the dispatch board here and select one of the open cases regarding the pothole issue. You can see by clicking on it at the bottom there that a dispatch team is already on its way and should be at the location in 33 minutes, so almost 30 minutes. So it will be able to share this information with Katie. Katie is happy to know that the team already been dispatched. And before wrapping up the call, Jack updates the case by adding details and first indicate that the first response has been sent. Oops, in detail. And this will basically stop the timer. If I go back to the main screen, and I save, it will stop the timer because the first response has been sent. I could have created an automation that based on some activities like actually creating a chat request or maybe having a chat with the customer, it will automatically stop the timer. But in that case, I've just did it manually. So you will also complete the update case since it's done. And from there, you will validate that everything has been covered and that Katie is happy with the outcome. So we'll just, is there anything else that I can help you with? And then there's nothing more she can help with. Katie is happy with the service. So you will thank for her time. And from there, you'll be able to resolve the case. So I'll just end the session there. So you can notice this timer here at the top, and you can notice again the sentiment analysis, which is now slightly positive. Okay, so it really evolved during the conversation. You can see that I've been on this chat for 8 minutes 33. And when I end the session, so either Katie is closing the session from her side or Jack is closing the session from here, you'll see that a new timer is starting to calculate how long it takes to wrap up the call to update the case with the details that are required. So if I'm looking at wrap up the call here, I can confirm it's done, and then I can resolve the case and put some information like how it's been resolved. So it can be used later on to in the smart assist functionality that I've showed you at the beginning. And then I'll just add no remark and click on resolve. So once the case is resolved, later on, we'll send automatically a survey to Katie, the same as I've shown in the voice part of the demo, and then she'll be able to share her experience with the customer service. So that's all I have to show you today. I hope you're seeing the value of how the chat functionality can help your resident having a more integrated and more and better experience leveraging your customer service department. So up to you, Pranav.
All right, thank you. So we just saw how a modern intelligent contact center solution can improve both resident and agent satisfaction, keep track of important metrics like SLAs, improve cost of operations by increasing first-time case resolution and reducing resolution times. We saw how end-to-end visibility across different areas, such as that dispatch board, means that Jack is empowered with all of the insights that he needs. And that results in increased operational efficiency as well as agent morale. Now let's look at the next chapter of our story. Here we will see the voice channel in action. So I'll play the role of the citizen and do a live call-in. We will get to see the same agent experience now with the voice channel, along with real-time transcription of the audio and analysis of the audio in terms of sentiment capturing, similar to what we saw in the chat. We will see how Jack can do a real-time consultation with others on the team. In this example, it'll be his manager, Jane. And then after the call, we'll get to see a survey and how citizens, residents can complete that survey and provide their feedback at key times. And then we'll get to see how Jane, the supervisor, is empowered with all of the right insights to be able to coach and mentor her team, as well as make data-driven decisions for her department to better serve residents. Over to you, Sam.
Thank you, Pranav. Let me share my screen again. There we are. So I will play the role of Jane, and I will receive a call from a resident that will be played by Pranav, as he just explained. I'll let you call in, Pranav.
So I'm now calling in to the number that the city has provided to me.
As you can see, Jane just received a pop-up notification telling her that a voice call request has been assigned to her, so she can either accept or reject it. In that case, obviously, she will accept it, and it will load the agent interface, which is exactly the same as you've seen earlier with the chat interface in the other scenario. Hello, how can I help you today?
Hi there. I've experienced a lot of heavy snow on my street and I can't get out of my driveway. I'm not sure when the plow is going to come by and remove the snow. It's actually very frustrating because I have a birthday party to attend and I'm already late.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Let me go ahead and look for you. Do you mind if I put you on hold for 1 minute?
Sure, no problem. Thanks.
So from there, I'll just put the call on mute and I'll to show you a couple of features. So the first thing you could notice is at the top of the pane there's the sentiment of the customer or the resident as the conversation goes on. So it's based on this transcript below that will detect some specific keywords inside the conversation to show how the resident is feeling about the conversation. And based on this information, later on, you'll be able to do some analytics or to even monitor the different calls and or go in and take over if needed. So I'll show you that later on. Now, as an agent, I'm not sure where to find the information about when the snowplow will be on Katy Street. So I will ask one of my colleagues by using the consultation function. By clicking on start a consultation, I can see who of my colleagues are online, because like right now, I can see that one of my supervisors is online. So I can click on start a side chat, and what it will do, it will open a side pane to the main pane where the transcript is right now. So just to show you, I'll just split the screen, and on the right, you have the supervisor, and on the left, you have the agent. So as a supervisor, I'm receiving a consult for request that I can, again, accept or reject. And when I accept it, I will have access to the whole conversation. So I have access to the whole history of the conversation between my colleague and the resident. And from there, as the agent, I can ask questions as to know where to find information regarding the snow removal. So as you can see, by typing in it there, I can, as the colleague, answer to this question. Now I've provided the information. You can find the information on the portal cd.snowremoval.com. Now I just got the information I needed, and I'm happy, and I can close this consultation session. Let's go back to full screen. So that's one of the way you can do a consultation. The second one is, let me close this one, by leveraging the integration between Omni-channel and Team. So if I click on Microsoft Team there, you can see that I can create a new chat, and again, with my same colleague, and start a chat directly inside of Omni-channel without having to change application, meaning that all your agents won't have to switch between different application while working. They can do it all directly inside of Dynamics 365. So from there, I can ask for the same question and get obviously the same answer to my question. But that's really two ways you can collaborate using Dynamics 365. So let's close that. Now I got the information I needed. So I will go back to the call, remove from hold, and continue with my call with my customer. So thank you for waiting. It looks like the plow is about 30 minutes away from your area, so it looks like they should be getting to and clearing the road for you. I hope that will help you get to the party on time.
Wow, that's amazing. That's great. So I'll get ready for the birthday party then and let them know, expect me. Thank you.
Awesome. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, that's all. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
So I'll put the call on hold again to show you a couple of things inside the interface. So the first thing is you could have seen that at the beginning of the call, the sentiment of the customer was neutral, then it become negative, and finally at the end of the call, it become positive. So you can really see the sentiment of the customers any time during the call to make sure that you can proper monitor it as a manager. I will show you in a couple of minutes how a manager will be able to track in real time all the conversation and take over if you realize that a conversation is going south. Now, in the main pane here, you can have different information about your customer. Like there, I can have a summary of information regarding Katie, like his address, his email, what's his preferred method of contact. I also have a summary of information regarding the call itself, like how long the customer has waited before he get an answer, in that case 17 seconds. So if a customer is mad because he say to wait a long time getting a line, you can see how long he had to wait before an agent answer this call. I can also see if there's recent cases, so if there's recent cases that's been open for the specific customer. So I always have this information at end that I can consult if needs to. And finally, to the right there, I can see a list of all activities regarding this specific resident. Like there, we can see that there's been multiple calls from this resident in the past. I can open any of those. Like if I want to open the transcript, for instance, it's directly available from the activity pane right now, right there. I can also create a new case. So if I need to follow up with the customer, for instance, I can create a new case from there, and it will automatically link the transcript and the voice recording to the specific call, and it will also link it directly to the proper customer resident, which is Katie McCormick. So if I want to track it, I can say inquiry about snow removal, and then save and close, and all this information will be tracked again against this case. Once the call has ended, automatically Katie will receive a survey asking her how she feel about the customer service she received. So as you can see there in my Katie mailbox, she received a resident satisfaction survey from which she can answer. And again, all this information will be recorded and tracked inside the CRM. So the next agent will be able to have access to this information regarding how she felt about the service provided by the city. So I can say, okay, my consulting experience was great. The approach was friendly, great service, etc., etc. And once I'm done, I can submit it, and all this information will be tracked inside Dynamics 365. Now, as a manager, as I said earlier, I have different ways of monitoring what's going on inside the customer service. And one of those is by using the Omni-channel ongoing conversation dashboard. And from there, I can see all the ongoing conversation. And if needs to, I can select one of those and click on monitor. So that's the active conversation that I'm having right now, okay? The sentiment obviously is positive, but let's say it would have been negative. I can click on monitor and take over the call. So I have two choices there. The first one is to join the call, okay? And the second one will be to chat with the agent. In that case, the customer is super happy. So I can chat with the agent and just celebrate the fact that it's going well. So great job. Continue. I can also have access to the history of the transcript and the different information about the customer itself. If I want to drill down further later on, I can also have access to all the conversation that has been recorded, and I can listen to the playback. But I can also identify where it goes, whether it goes bad or where it goes well during the call at specific point in time. So I don't have to re-listen to the whole conversation. I can just simply click on the timeline, and it will bring me where there's a change in the sentiment of the resident. So with that information, I can either train my resources or celebrate my resources because the calls are going well in that case. And finally, in terms of analytics, we can have access to an historical data of all the different conversation coming from all the different channels. So you can have conversation coming from your website, coming from email, coming from Facebook, or coming from voices. And all this information, you can have a summary showing you how many incoming conversation has been, what's the engaged conversation, how many people have just left the conversation because it was too long or because they didn't find the answer that they want. You can even go as far as looking at the average speed to answer, or how long what's the speed pace of a specific agent. So all this information is available to you and will help you to improve the resident satisfaction at the end of the day.
Oh, that was fantastic. Thank you, Sam. So we just saw the voice channel in action, and we saw how data and insights are captured by the solution and used to take informed action, whether it's a survey that's automatically sent to the resident to get their contextual feedback based on certain interaction types, or a script of the call with moments where the sentiment changes from happy to sad or vice versa, all of which present learning opportunities. The departmental level insights and the dashboard that we just saw towards the end allow the city to learn how they're doing in real time, what's trending, what they should watch out for. And so the aim is really to ensure that the city can be as proactive as possible and use data to make decisions to empower everyone, the supervisor, the agent, and the citizens to do more. That concludes the demo portion of this webinar. Thank you.
Well done, Seben and Pranav. Thank you very much for this fantastic demo. As I outlined earlier, you've put in questions. Please continue putting questions for the next couple of minutes in the Q&A. What we will do is over the next couple of hours, we will gather all the questions, we will consolidate them, and we'll send everyone the list of all the questions that were asked and the answers. So expect to have that within about a day and a half in your inbox. In the meantime, if you want more information, if you want to talk to one of us, here's the email address, hso-ca-marketing@hso.com. We can book with us a business value assessment to further discuss how our solution can help propel your business forward. Again, on behalf of the HSO team, thank you again for joining us today. Have a good day.